This is Chit Chat, the encouraging one another podcast. Interviewing musicians, comedians, sports personalities, and many, many other individuals all over the world, sharing their story of encouragement, inspiration, what they've been through, what they've gone through, as well as amazing musicians from all over the world. Kick back and relax. For some amazing people you probably have never heard of and their story. Each of us have a story of hope, of courageousness, of inspiration. This is Chit Chat, the encouraging one-on-one podcast. It's always about encouraging others. Hello there, and welcome back to Chit and Chat, the encouraging one-on-one podcast. I'm your host, Jody Sheffield. We are back with another episode of one of the fastest growing podcasts out there, in my opinion. This is episode number 92, as we're getting closer and closer to 100 episodes of this encouraging, entertaining, uplifting podcast. And I have saved the course of giving you brand new episodes every week, interviewing people from all over the world, some you might have heard of, some you might not have heard of, as we're sharing some great music by some incredible singers-songwriters from all over the world. In today's episode, I have music by Austin Hopkins, his song, Right Now. Elizabeth Mary, her song, Beautiful Mess. And my guest today, Matt Tejeda, and the Backwards Band, At a Time. I'd like to introduce Matt as well. He was raised near San Antonio. He also has worn many hats. From rodeo. As a teenager, he started as a band and playing variety of cover songs and different dive bars. And he's found his passion for acting and doing different productions. And he has tried his hand as a rodeo, as mentioned. Later in life, he'd be doing the art of tattooing, which he really enjoyed. He became an HVAC technician. And sharing his creativity, he kept on singing. About 6 years had passed. With the help of his wife, Adriana, Matt's love for tattooing became more and more for him. Now, he's able to create his own schedule and sing more as well. And his brand new song, At a Time, is out. Matt has high hopes for his future as music career, and he knows with the help and support of his family, he can do anything. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Chit and Chat encouraging one another podcast, Matthew Tejeda Garcia, we'll call him Matt Tejeda, here on Chit and Chat, the encouraging one another podcast. This is Austin Hopkins. You can find him on Facebook and Instagram. This is his song, Right Now.
Right now you're thinking about drinking your way into pleasure. Right now I'm thinking about things I shouldn't be thinking about, and taking sips and talking shit doesn't mean that it's over. You're looking for something more, and girl, so am I. I don't wanna use you, but you're making this so hard for me now. I just wanna hold you, never ever ever let you go, but I can't be right now, right now. I'm just gonna be you right now, kind of guy. Right now you're looking at me like I'm your James Dean. Right now you're talking to me and telling me all your dreams. Shoot your shot so you tie the knot. Doesn't mean it's forever. Girl, let's get out of here and I'll show you what you've been missing. I don't wanna use you, but you're making this so hard for me now. I just wanna hold you, never ever, ever let you go. But I can't be right now, right now. I'm just gonna be you right now, right now. Right now you're going crazy. Right now you're saying save me. And I can, yes I can. Oh. I don't wanna use you, but you're making this so hard for me now. I just wanna hold you and never ever, ever let you. I don't wanna use you, but you're making this so hard for me now. I just wanna hold you, never ever, ever let you go. But I can't be right now, right now. I'm just gonna be you right now, right now. Kind of guy, and I won't think twice. Kind of guy, why'd you let me be that kind of guy?
That was Austin Hopkins. Hey, Matt.
Hey, how's it going, Jody?
Good yourself?
Doing pretty good, sir.
How's the weather down there?
Oh man, it's sunny and like 103 out here.
Whew, you can keep it.
Yeah, no kidding. That's how Texas is, though.
Yeah, I'll be down neck of the woods next week. I'll be in Austin actually for a toy conference. We're going down for our business. So yeah, I'll be in your neck of the woods in Austin for a week. So yeah, I'm ready for some barbecue.
Nice. Yeah, definitely. You're gonna have to get some good barbecue out there, man.
Well, thanks for the time. Really appreciate it. I'm excited to talk to you. I kind of hear your story a little bit. And before we dive into some fun conversations, I can throw some icebreaker questions at my guests. So I hope you get your thinking cap on today.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Question number one: what's your go-to meal? Any time of the day you're craving this meal.
I don't know if you could call it a meal, man. It's actually I'm a cereal kind of guy. I like cereal with milk, man.
Cereal? What kind of cereal?
Fruity Pebbles. You got to go with Fruity Pebbles, man.
What's your favorite thing about the place where you live at, which is where?
I actually live here in San Antonio, Texas. I was born and raised here in San Antonio. Pretty much everything, man. There's so much to do. It's a big city, but you got a small town, basically. Pretty much everybody knows everybody, and it's kind of weird like that. San Antonio's been growing for a good while, and I think my favorite thing is that, anywhere I go, I'm running into somebody that I know.
Gotcha. Question number 3: if you get alongside any movie, say you could be alongside Matt Damon in the Bourne series, or you could be in the Avengers, what movie would you like to star in?
Oh man, that's a good one. I'm a giant fan of Tim Burton.
Okay.
So I love all the Tim Burton movies and everything like that. Like I love Nightmare Before Christmas, of course, is one of my favorite ones.
Mm-hmm.
What was it? Coraline. I've actually got a Beetlejuice tattoo. I've got a whole sleeve of Tim Burton characters actually going on my arm right now. So it'll definitely have to be a Tim Burton movie alongside like Johnny Depp and Helena Bonham Carter. That'd be cool.
That's awesome. Question number 4: if you could surprise your family, say you came home the day after work and you say I got a week vacation anywhere in the world, and you can't tell them until you get there, where are you going?
I think I would take my wife and my kids. I would take them to Greece because my wife has been wanting to go to Greece for a while, and I'm really trying to make that happen because that would be a cool thing to do, man.
I'll do a podcast with you live in Greece. That'd be kind of cool.
Man, wouldn't that be like, shoot, hey man, I'm out here in the, I'm I'm out here at the Coliseum in Rome and everything like that, and that'd be some cool stuff to do, man.
I just had some friends of mine come back from 2-week vacation. I'm like, just gonna, God says don't be envious, but it's hard not to be. You're seeing pictures from around the world,
isn't it? I mean, they say not to be envious, yes, and so does the Bible, and so does God say not to be envious of your neighbor. But man, it is so tough whenever they're doing such cool stuff like that, man. Like, I wish I could just vacation for the rest of my life and just travel the world.
Yeah, I would love to just do podcasts in person with people around the world. That'd be so cool, man. I love talking to people and meeting people around the world. I'm born and raised in Arkansas, so I'm a talker anyway.
Most of the time I am too. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I'm actually the extrovert in mine and my wife's relationship. She's the introvert. She's like, I'd rather stay home and be, a hibernating bear in my cave. And I'm like, I need sunlight. Let's open the curtains. Let's go out. Let's go do something.
That's so true. All right. Last one for you. Who was that person that encouraged you, perhaps inspired you, and challenged you maybe to do, you wear many hats. And we'll discuss that today. Who's there someone in your life who really got you going? Put your head down and go for it.
So I gotta credit quite a few people actually here, man.
Go ahead. We got time.
I mean, if we got time, man, I'm gonna tell you the story. No, first of all, I gotta credit my mom and my dad. Actually, man, they were the ones who kind of told me, hey, you can do whatever the hell you set your mind to. You just gotta, bear down and keep your nose to the grindstone and make sure that what you're doing is something that you're passionate about. Because if you're not, then you're not gonna put your whole heart into it and everything like that. There was also another wise man. I don't know if you've ever seen that show Parks and Recreation, where Ron Swanson says, "Don't half-ass two things, whole-ass one thing," and that kind of got me there, man. That's something that's philosophy at its finest, right there. I think I went kind of the opposite way though.
Okay.
So I kind of whole-ass multiple things here. Whenever I'm hustling here in San Antonio. But no, definitely my theater teacher from high school also was a big time I guess what am I trying to say, influence over my creative side and me being a hard worker and being able to take constructive criticism and of course my family too. My wife and my kids, they're all three of them, they really keep me going forward. They really keep me driving on, and my wife is such a big supporter of me and whatever the heck I do. And I know I drive her up the wall sometimes whenever I'm like, hey, I think I'm gonna do this now. She's like, wait, hold on, what? I thought we were doing something else. But yeah, no, those are definitely the main people that have influenced me and kept me going.
Would you mind sharing a little brief bio about yourself? I did a little research as well, so we'll get into some things. Just give me a brief bio on who Matt Tejeda Garcia is.
So I go by Matt Tejeda, this just because it's shorter.
Okay.
But I was born and raised in San Antonio, on the southwest side of town, and for those of you who don't know where that is, it's basically like the rural ghetto. Here in San Antonio, kind of, I was born somewhat in the inner city, but just outside of the city enough to be, somewhat country. And I graduated from Southwest High School out here, and from my graduation time, I was actually able to get an audition for Juilliard and audition for Juilliard out in New York for their acting program. Didn't end up getting in, but man, that experience, I'm telling you, just being a small town kid, basically, going into a big old city like that, that's a culture shock right there. Like I'm in jeans and boots and t-shirt and like, yeah, I probably shouldn't be in this right now. I'm going to be looked down upon or something like that. It was really, really big culture shock. But yeah, man, no, I growing up, I was, we weren't, hard pressed for cash, but we weren't flush with it either. We were kind of a lower middle class whenever I was growing up, and my mom was a stay at home mom for a good portion of my life, and my dad worked like at least 2 or 3 jobs while he was also going to nursing school and taking night classes so that he can get his certifications and help provide for, well, at the time it was a family of 4.
Mm-hmm.
And then my youngest sister came along, and now then it was a family of 5, and he really had to get to work. He ended up being able to put my mom through school, and she became a respiratory therapist, and so they were both in the medical field at the time, and it became a lot more of a stable environment for us. But we never, I don't think I ever really grew up with the notion that we were poor, or that we were, hey man, we're down on our luck and we're strapped for cash and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
We were always, able to get, hey, we can go to McDonald's if you want to go to McDonald's and everything like that, or we want to eat out or whatever, we can go eat out or go to a movie or something like that. It was never a thing of, man, we got to go without for right now, we got to go without. But yeah,
you born and raised, and you lived in your same town your entire life?
Yeah. I've never moved out or anything like that. I've done a little bit of traveling here and there, seen a couple of states in the United States, and those were fun times. But I've always stayed here in San Antonio, man. I never had the desire to really live anywhere else, honestly. Even if it did work out to where I was, okay, yeah, now you're gonna go to Juilliard, I'd be like, hey, man, I'm homesick now. I could probably be in class and be like, man, I miss Texas, but this is my place. This is my home. This is where everybody that I know and love lives, and you got guys that or just people in general that want to get out of their hometown or their home state and go travel the world. And hey, man, that's all well and good. More power to you. But I know where I belong, and this is where I'm gonna always come back to. I can travel all I want, but I'll always come back to San Antonio.
So what was that when you first got your how does that work when you get invited to Juilliard? How was that?
Dude, so let me tell you this right here. So my theater teacher, because I started doing theater whenever I was in high school. I was always interested in it, but I started doing it in high school. I think my sophomore year, after I wasn't able to play sports anymore for health reasons and everything like that. I ended up having fainting spells on the football field and whatnot. Because, hey, it's Texas, so we play football.
It's hot.
It's hot, and sometimes you faint, and sometimes it's not a good thing, and so they'll tell you can't play football no more. But no, so we ended up getting myself into theater, and through my high school, and my theater teacher she actually taught my mom and her sister, which is my aunt, and a couple of their cousins. So it was like, generations of Tejedas going to Southwest High School. And whenever she got a hold of me and put me in theater, the theater bug bit me, man. I loved acting. I loved singing and dancing and everything like that. I loved performing for people, because I just thought it was the coolest thing in the world. And, all these like cliche teen movies and everything like that are always like, yeah, the drama kids get picked on and everything like that or whatever, No, man, that wasn't the case over there. We had football players, baseball players, jocks, freaks, geeks, goths, all types of people in drama. It was the melting pot of, the social, the social kids and everything like that. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, I mean, we were buddies with everybody. We were friends with everybody. And whenever I was like, hey, my senior year in high school, what am I going to do for college? I would love to, go to a theater school and learn more about this craft and everything like that, and more about performing. My theater teacher, Miss Adamy, she was like, hey, you know what? There's this place called Juilliard, and is one of the most prestigious. It is the most actually prestigious fine arts schools in the country, maybe the world. And so I was like, yeah, Yeah, that sounds good. Let's go ahead and do that. You know, I'm probably 17, 18 at the time. No, 17 probably at the time that I actually submitted an application, because you have to, just like any college, you have to submit an application.
Mm-hmm.
You have to write an essay for it, and you have to have letters of recommendation and everything like that. So I got my letters, my essay, which I can't even to this day tell you what I wrote about, but obviously it was good enough to get them to notice me. And then got my application all squared away and sent it off. I think I had to wait like maybe a month or two before I even actually got an email. And I was at home, just sitting in my room, and I was like, let me check my emails, see what's up, see who's emailing me, because yeah, that's just what I do at 17 years old, just check my emails all the time. No, I was looking for that letter. I was looking for that letter from Juilliard big time. I was like, let me see if they've messaged me and see if they they either rejected it, or hey, we're going to give you a chance to audition, because it's actually extremely difficult just to get past the application process.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't realize it until I actually looked up how hard it is. Thousands of kids around the world actually apply for this place, and they only give you 3 shots to apply for it. And then they're like, okay, yeah, you're done. We don't accept you anymore as far as like putting in applications or getting auditions for us. So whenever I saw that email come across my computer screen, I jumped for joy. I was yelling out the window. My dad ran in thinking that I was getting murdered. Like, what the heck's going on here? Like, who just came into my house?
Somebody call the police.
Somebody call the cops. He went to break out the shotgun and was like, hey, what's going on here? No, it was crazy. It was a very surreal moment, because I was like, man, I just got my first letter to say, hey, you're going to be auditioning in New York, and we need you to be at the Lincoln Center to audition for Juilliard, the Juilliard school. I was like, wow, okay, so this is the real deal. I called up my theater teacher at that time, and I was like, Miss Adamy, I got the audition. And she was like, all right, well then let's get to work right now today. Like, let's get you 2. She was like, what do you need? And I was like, well, I need 2 monologues, and I need like a backup song and a primary song that I can sing to them and perform for them and everything like that. She was like, all right. So it was cue the Rocky montage. It's Matt in the high school theater, the theater auditorium, and practicing nothing but monologues. And for some of you who are like, what the heck is he talking about? Monologue is just basically a scene that a single person acts out. It's usually you can call it a speech, or just a long scene just with one person. And I think we ended up landing on a monologue from The Mad Woman of Chaillot, where it was a rag picker that I was playing, and it was based in Paris, France, or something like that. So I had to use a French accent, and that was hard enough as it was, just trying to get a French accent down and audition for these people who are like, big wigs in the biggest school in the world. And then I also had to play Henry VIII for my other monologue. So King Henry VIII, switching from, a proper English accent to a French accent. What the heck, man? It's like, and I talk like this, so it's like, okay, let's try it. But man, we worked on it for at least 2 or 3 months straight, pretty much every day. And at the time, in my senior year in high school, I only had like 2 or 3 classes that were actually what they consider core classes in Texas. Like, I think I was taking government economics, which was half a semester for the year, both of those things.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was taking English, and then I think it was like a science class or something like that. Or no, I was taking a speech and health class, because I didn't take it my freshman year. I like to I like to put things off till the last minute. I'm a big time procrastinator when it comes to that stuff, but that's a different story. We'll glance over that. No, man. It was, so I really had a lot of free time, my senior year in high school. And so I would get through my main classes in the morning, and in the afternoon, I would meet up with my theater teacher, Miss Adamy, and we would just rehearse. Okay, you do this thing called slating, which is, hi, my name is Matthew Tejeda. I'm from Southwest High School. My first monologue is going to be, such and such, where I play whoever. My second monologue is going to be such and such, where I play whoever. And then my song is going to be this song.
Okay.
And then, you go into it. So I had to rehearse, like, interacting with the administrators and everything like that are going to be judging me and saying whether or not you can come into the next round, because that was just the first round of auditions. There was 2 more rounds of auditions that I didn't even realize. Yeah, 200 and something kids at Lincoln Center in New York were auditioning, and I'm in a dance studio that they have there, just waiting for my turn. The day of my audition, waiting. Okay, now it's my turn. Go in there, and I am just nervous as all get out. My knees are knocking together, and I sound like, Pinocchio with his knees shaking, just like, it was crazy, man. And I'm over here. I'm 17 years old at the time, and I go, hi, my name is Matt Tejeda. I'm going to be going. I was like, whoa, hold on. First of all, you sound like Boomhauer right now, or an auctioneer, just like talking to these people. I was like, I'm sorry, can I try that again? And they're laughing at me. They're like, yeah, go ahead and try that again. I was like, hello, my name is Matt Tejeda. I'm from Southwest High School out in San Antonio, Texas.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, oh, okay, well, what do you do out there at Southwest High School? I go, I'm in theater. This is what I do. I act, and I have a band and whatnot. And so they were kind of getting a feel for me. And I was so nervous. I kind of kept my stuff like short and sweet. Obviously, I'm a little long-winded, but right whenever I was doing that, I was trying to keep it short and sweet and to the point. And you can kind of tell they were trying to drag my personality out of me a little bit, because like I was just like, I need to focus on my diction and being able to enunciate so that they can hear me, because earlier you just made a fool of yourself right when you walked in. It was nerve-wracking, man. And so I get through the audition, and they were like, okay, y'all go ahead and take a couple hours, be back at this time. And so they sent us all out, and they said, well, go ahead and we'll post who's going to be going on to the next audition on the wall at, I think, like 3:00 or something like that it was. I was like, all right, cool. Well, I didn't realize there was only going to be 8 names out of 200 something kids on that, audition sheet saying, okay, hey, you're going to the next round. Because they had 3 other states that they were doing the same thing in at the same time. I was like, wow, okay. So about 600 kids just got the audition to audition again, and then go to the final round of auditioning, which was cut down to like 3 people. And I think they only took like 1 or 2 of them out of, all 600 people that they weeded out of thousands of people that actually, applied.
Mm-hmm. How far did you get?
I got to the first round of auditions, and then I didn't make the second round. And so I was like, it was a little bit, I was a little bit disappointed. And I was like kind of kicking myself, because I was like, man, you made a fool of yourself. But I kind of like, because we're all in the elevator lobby just to go back down to the first floor after we all, were a little bit disappointed. And I was like, you know what? Hey, man, we're here in New York, and we actually got the chance to audition for Juilliard. This is a freaking, this is a big deal. Not a lot of kids, can say that they did this. Like, what are we gloomy for? What are we, crying about this for? And everybody was like, yeah, you know what? That's right. We actually did get past. That's not a lot of people. It's like saying that you got to pitch an inning, on a major league mound. Not a lot of people can say that. You know what I mean? Even if it's just an inning or half an inning, you know what I mean? It's still a big deal, man. You know?
I was doing some research too. If it's true or not. Maybe it's true, maybe it's not. But did you play the Daniel Caffey and A Few Good Men?
I in fact did. Yes. I in fact did. Yes. Yeah, I did. I played Daniel Caffey and A Few Good Men, which it was cool, man. It was actually cool because we actually did it on a military base out here because, you know, San Antonio's military city, USA. I don't care what anybody else says in this world. We actually did it on a military base here at Fort Sam in San Antonio. And there was actually a competition for that as well, where it was a theater company that was going around the world and watching other productions from different military base, you know, theater, I guess, companies that were putting on plays and everything like that. And it had to be a straight play. It couldn't be a musical or anything like that. But yeah, they were judging that. I'm sorry?
A Few Good Men, the musical, would not have gone well.
I don't think it would have. No. It would be weird to see like Marines dance in the can and everything like that or something like it would be really weird. But I mean, I can imagine it now, you know. You can't handle the truth. Oh my gosh.
It's coming now. You mentioned
it's gonna happen now. Somebody in New York is gonna pick that up now.
What was your favorite line in that play?
Honestly, it was a scene where him and Joanne Galloway are like on the baseball field.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, she's spouting off that, you know, she knows exactly who Daniel Caffey is, you know, and she just, you know, rattles off his entire family history. And he goes, wow, I'm sexually aroused. That was my favorite line in that play, man. But yeah, no, it was a cool time. It was a fun time.
You watched the movie a lot before? You prepping for that play?
Here and there. I mean, I'd already seen the movie before because I was like, man, I love this stupid movie for whatever reason. You know, there's some big inaccuracies with the military culture that they portray in it and everything like that. But I mean, they're not going to get it right all the time because obviously it's the military. They can't get everything on point.
It's a
movie. It's a movie. That too. You know what I mean? It's a movie. They can't have everything the way they want it, as accurate as possible. I mean, it's not like they have Marcus Luttrell, you know, being a consigliere on the movie, you know. But yeah, no, it was.
Now you're a tattoo artist as well. One of your other hats, right?
Yeah, another hat. I'm a very creative person. If you haven't, you know, been able to tell. No, I'm a tattoo artist as well. I was able to learn from a good buddy of mine, and you know, just kind of pick it up here and there. I'm not the best tattoo artist in the world, but I'm not going to make you look, you know, hey, that's horrible artwork on you. No, I'm a very much illustrative artist. I don't do like realism stuff. I do like American traditional style and black and gray illustrative work. And I've actually tattooed a lot of airmen here in San Antonio that were, you know, just training in tech school actually. So I get a lot of Air Force kids that come and get tattooed by me.
I do have a good portion of listeners in Texas. So you have a website at all, or where's your business at?
The business that I work at is actually a creation tattoo company.
Okay.
So I'm over on 410 and 90. If you're ever in San Antonio, I'm actually a hop skipping away from Lackland Air Force Base. So if you're in San Antonio and you know exactly where Lackland Air Force Base is in 410 and 90, you can find me, no problem. But yeah, you can look up my artwork and everything like that on Instagram. Actually, I have my Instagram is ink_by_El Mariachi.
You want to spell that?
It's exactly how it sounds. El Mariachi. It's what was Desperado? I'm sorry. I was blanking there. It's like the nickname of Antonio Banderas in that movie Desperado. El Mariachi.
One of your other hats is a musician. You also sing. You know, share about how'd you come about singing? Just
I actually started singing whenever I was real young. I was about 9 years old, I think, and I was just kind of singing just songs here and there. Like my mom had an old tape recorder, and I would sing on that thing and listen to myself, and thought I sounded pretty okay for a prepubescent child, singing and everything like that. I don't know. One of these days, me and my buddies got a wild hair up our rear, and we're like, you know what? Let's start a band, man. You know, we're freshmen in high school, and so what else would you do besides start a garage band and start playing gigs and everything like that in little dive bars all around San Antonio and Von Army and Lytle, little towns around Texas, around San Antonio, Texas, and everything like that. And that's pretty much how I got into that. It was just, let's start a band. Okay, cool. So yeah, I've been doing that since I was about 13, 14 years old. And only one of us, or two of us, sorry, of our band, which the old band was called Torres Lane. And it was named after the road that my buddies lived on, that we used to go to their house and practice our whole set. And it was like maybe an hour and a half set that we did. And we had like 30 to 40 songs that we had, in our set list and everything like that. And we were playing anything from AC/DC to Three Doors Down to George Strait and Johnny Cash and all that stuff. So, I mean, we were playing pretty much anything we can get our hands on at that time. And it was a blast, man. It was a blast. One of the biggest gigs that we did here in San Antonio was actually on the main stage at Market Square for Fiesta. And for those of you Texas listeners that know about Fiesta in San Antonio, man, that's a big deal, especially for a bunch of teenagers, man. It was pretty cool. I think that was probably the biggest crowd we played for out here, and whenever we were about 16, 17 years old. But yeah, man, that's how that started. And then was doing the acting thing on the side as well. And then, just got back into to singing after college. And I was like, you know what? I want to start singing country music because I've always been a fan of country music. Hank Haggard, Merle, Willie Nelson, Johnny Cash, those are
real country.
Oh yeah, real country, outlaw country, man, the good stuff.
My dad's the highwayman back in the days. He loved that.
Yeah. Big time, man. Those are the highwaymen. It was always a fascination of mine. I loved that country music. I loved that they told stories, because I mean, rock and roll music or heavy metal music and everything like that is very metaphorical and very symbolic and everything like that. They use a lot of symbolism and everything in it, and it's very poetic. But I like a song that somebody can hear and is very, kind of literal with it, with its storyline, but you can take it and perceive it in whatever way you perceive it in. I like that type of style. And that's what country music is to me. It's all about perception. And this guy can think, hey, it's about this. And the next guy can be like, no, man, it's about this. Check it out. Yeah. Even though you're singing a song about, literally, hey man, I lost my truck and my dog ran away. No, man, this is what it's about. It's like, no, trust me, it's about the dog running away, and it's about the truck being lost. Yeah.
After this interview, I'll be sharing your song "At a Time." Can you share about that song a little bit? What does it mean to you?
So, Out of Time, I actually wrote whenever I was about 19, 20 years old. It was a breakup song. It was. I was breaking up with a at the time was one of the longest relationships I had, which was like 2 or 3 years. And I was kind of heartbroken about it, but at the same time, I was like, you know what, I'm done with it. So there's a lot of, country cliches in there. But at the same time, it's very much what I was going through, just being 19 or 20 and being drunk enough not to give a damn about what anybody thought at that time. And and just, being out of time to think about all these things that are just going on in my life. You know what? I got no time to think about what's happening. You know what? I just need to keep on going. I just need to keep on running. Just need to keep on trucking. And you know what? I'll be fine. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty much what that song means to me is, whenever it says I'm on the run, I'm out of time. And if I was sober, I'd be out of my mind, man. If I wasn't drunk right now, I'd probably be out of my mind.
What are some of the processes you go through in writing a song? Is it like a verse or maybe a beat? I piece together a song.
Sometimes it is. There's different processes that I go through whenever I actually write a song. Most of them are like what I call the Dewey Cox moment. If you ever watch that movie with what's that guy from Step Brothers? Can't even remember his name right now. But yeah, is that Dewey Cox movie where he was, Walk Hard, that one. Whenever he's like, it's a long, hard walk and I will walk hard. And he's like, oh yeah, there you go. There it is. That's that song right there. You will catch me all the time. Anytime somebody says something that is just remotely sounds like a country song, I'm like, yep, that's the next one right there. Like I think I have a song in mind that's going to be called Whiskey Night. So yeah, it was one of those things where it was like, yeah, man, I wrote this song on a whiskey night, at 3 a.m. I was like, man, that's a song right there. Heck, I'm writing that one. You can't call it now. It's pretty much, sometimes it's like that, or sometimes I'll just be messing around with the guitar and a verse comes to mind and I'm like, okay, we'll write that down and stow that away for later, and kind of piece that together with something else. And then there's just times where it just kind of comes to you and you write it in about 5 minutes and then you show it to somebody else and they're like, okay, maybe you should do this here or do that there. And I'm like, all right, cool. I'll take the constructive criticism and I'll do with it what I want, whether I take it or whether I'm like, I think I'm gonna leave it as it is, so it's one of those things where if I'm in the zone, I can write it in 5 minutes. If I'm not in the zone, I'll write a little bit and I'll set it off to the side for later whenever I'm actually in the zone.
Okay. You've worn many hats there on your journey, and is there one hat you kind of step back going, I still can't believe I did blank?
Oh man, I think it would have to be substitute teaching. I was a substitute teacher whenever I was like maybe 19 or 20, I think. It was about 19 or 20. I don't know why I was doing teaching. I really don't like kids unless they're my own. Being a substitute for them. I mean, you went through school, man. You know how it was with substitutes. You never really respected those guys. But me being 6'3", and being a monster, like these kids were like, oh, don't mess with that guy. Don't mess with Mr. T. That's what I always had kids call me because some of them couldn't pronounce my last name. So I was like, just call me Mr. T, and I will affectionately respond with, what, boo?
I pity the boo.
Oh man, that went over so many kids' heads. I was like, you know what? Just go sit down. Just go sit down. Oh man.
Your career, can you share about some people who have really had the most influence or impact in your life to kind of encourage you? All the hats you're shifting around. Was that the wife kind of keeping you in gear, or who was that in your life?
Yeah, pretty much. It's been my wife that's been keeping me kind of in line with all of this, because like she's my reality check. Like sometimes I don't want to hear it, and I need to hear it though. Like because she'll tell me, okay, look, is this feasible? Like, are you gonna have time for this? How are you gonna do this? She's got to keep the logistics, in at least a thought in my head.
Mm-hmm.
And she definitely, she keeps me grounded, man. She keeps me staying down on planet Earth whenever my head's up in the clouds. But no, she's definitely the biggest supporter that I've ever had in my life, really. I mean, she's, okay, if this is what you're going to do, I understand. But as long as you have time to do all this other stuff that you want to do, but yeah, I definitely bugged the hell out of her with all this.
What's your name and how many years are married?
Oh, her name is Adriana, and we've actually, we will only be married a year in October, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, October 31st, right? Yeah, that's our anniversary, Halloween. Okay.
Are you asking me?
I almost forgot, and I swear to God, I could have sworn I heard her running down the hallway to come and smack me in the head.
Metal casket iron pan outside the head.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I was about to get a skillet to the forehead right now.
How important is encouragement in your life, and not only receiving it but giving it to others?
It's a big deal to me, man. I mean, this generation of kids that are coming up a lot of them are very sure of themselves. A lot of them are very entitled, but a lot of them are very insecure too. I grew up I would like to say because I'm a millennial, so I grew up in the last bit of, hey, rub some dirt in it generation, basically, and keep on pressing on. But my parents were always, hey, get up and rub some dirt in it. But at the same time, hey, you can do it. Come on, let's go. Keep on trucking, keep on going. It was a big thing for me to have that encouragement from my parents and from, my now family that I've created. And I think it's more important to give it to the next generation as far as, hey, maybe that's not what you should be doing because you're not really that great at it, or you just need to work a little harder at it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was told straight out, hey man, you suck. You shouldn't be doing this, with everything that I've done. And it was always right at the very beginning, especially with tattooing, I drawing and everything like that. I used to draw a lot whenever I was a kid, and, I was never Pablo Picasso or anything like that, but, you could tell what the heck I was drawing.
Mm-hmm.
And coming back to it as an adult and everything like that, it's a lot harder, coming back to it as an adult. And I'm like looking at this stuff and I'm like, man, this sucks. Cause I'm, tattooing fake skin and drawing on, paper and everything like that. And I'm like, man, this just sucks. I shouldn't do this or whatever. And, having somebody who's got like 20, 30 years experience on me saying, no, man, that's actually not bad. You're on the right track. Here's what I would do.
Mm-hmm.
If I were you to fix this and everything like that. And I think that's what we need to start doing more with this generation is, hey, you know what? It's actually not as bad as you think. What you need to do is just tweak it here and there, and that'll actually get you to where you need to be on the right track. Or, hey, man, if it's all jacked up and everything like that, you know what, dude? You should probably find something else that's more suited for your skill set because this ain't it right now, man. We got to tell it like it is, but also give them some sort of encouragement, because if you're just cutting people down, left and right, then they're not going to want to keep on going. They're not going to want to keep on,
right,
living life and everything like that, man. And that's no way to be about it. I'm always trying to pay it forward. I'm always trying to be kind to people, and I'm not trying to be nice. I'll be kind to people. There's a difference in there.
Mm-hmm.
Nice, you get walked all over and everything like that. Kindness is, to people who deserve it.
I've done almost 100 podcasts, and I go back and listen to my first 15 or 20. I'm like, ooh, who listened to this?
Yeah.
But I think that's better interviewing and just kind of the process. It takes time and kind of editing yourself and fixing your mistakes. And so it's a process.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, man, it definitely is. I mean, even with, my first single, it was definitely a process with that. I know where I want to correct it, and I know where I want to do better, the next time around, because, hey, man, that was my single to, hey, let's put it out there. Let's see who hears it, let's see who actually, is interested in what I have to say, first off. And then, I got such a good response with it here in San Antonio. So that was very encouraging to me, even though I have my issues with the way the audio is recorded and everything like that. I'm like, you know what? Next time around, it's going to be a hell of a lot better. And listen to what I have to say with this song. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm still doing that to this day. I mean, I do a tattoo, and man, it may look awesome to somebody else or to the person who's wearing it, which is great. Awesome. As long as you love that tattoo, that's all that matters to me. But I'm looking at it and I'm saying, dang, man, I could have done this better over here. I could have shaded this a little lighter, or, I could have had a lighter touch on this or thinner line here. I'm constantly in my head and constantly trying to just get myself to where it's okay. This is going to be perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's perfect because I've berated myself in my own head, but at the same time had that encouragement, outside of myself, to keep me going and saying, hey, you know what? You don't like it, but somebody else likes it. And that what to do for next time to make it better so that they'll put those people out there that like it will freaking love it.
As we're wrapping up here, I got another question for you. And how can people follow you? And you have a website at all for your music, or how can people connect with you and check out your music? So
to check out my music, I'm on all streaming platforms. I'm on Spotify. I'm on Pandora. I'm on Apple Music. iTunes. I don't even know if iTunes is still a thing. Is iTunes still a thing? I don't even know. Okay. Well, if iTunes is still a thing, then yes, you can get it there. Pretty much any streaming platform. Just look up Matt Tejeda and the Backwoods Band, and my last name is spelled Tejeda. It's a weird last name. I know. It's a Spaniard last name. Leave me alone. All right. But yeah, you could also look me up on Facebook under Matt Tejeda and the Backwoods Band. And you can find me on Instagram under Matt Tejeda Music. I also just recently did created a TikTok profile, which is the Matt Tejeda Band or Matt Tejeda Band on TikTok. Okay. Yeah. So that's where you can find me.
Dude, it's been an honor talking to you today. I really appreciate your time, and you're a man of many hats. I wish you the best. You have any songs that come out? I'd love to have him on my podcast. Last I checked, I'm in 20 countries, so let's get them at Tejeda's music all over the world, man.
Heck yeah, Jody. Thanks, man. Thanks so much for having me on, man. This is an honor.
Hey, take care. God bless. We'll be in touch.
All right, Bubba. Take care.
This is Matt Tejeda and the Backwoods Band at a time.
Saturday night, I'm sitting in this bar again. I'm thinking about those things you said when you left. I got a cigarette in one hand and whiskey in the other. I won't be able to feel regrets tonight. Yeah, I'm drunk enough not to give a damn what you think about me, 'cause I'm on the run, I'm out of time, and if I was sober I'd be out of my mind, 'cause I'm on the run, I'm out of time, and if I was sober I'd be out of my mind, 'cause I'm out of time. I should probably be doing something to get you back, 'cause I know tomorrow I'll be missing everything we had. Nothing's written in stone when my here till the sun comes up in the early morning. But I'm out of time, baby. I'm out of love, darling. I miss you so much. 'Cause I'm on the run. I'm out of time. And if I was sober, I'd be out of my goddamn mind. 'Cause I'm on the run. I'm out of time. And if I was sober, I'd be out of my mind. Yeah, I'm out of time. But I'm out of time.
Commercial! Commercial!
Break for 30 seconds.
Are you craving some authentic, fresh Mexican food? I am. I want to tell you about two businesses here in Silverdale, Washington. They're both locally owned and operated. They got some of the best tasting Mexican food around. The first one is Taquiza Street. They're a local food truck located at 9571 Silverdale Way in Silverdale, Washington. They got some best tasting breakfast burritos you'll ever find, including the breakfast Tex burrito, the breakfast California burrito, the breakfast ultimate burrito, and my favorite, the barbecue pulled pork burrito. Delicious. They also add items like tacos, burritos, and other great tasting items. Call and place your order today. Go out and pick it up at 360-914-9152. That's at Taquiza Street. Also, at the Kids At Mall, Taquiza. They have 5 kinds of tacos there. That's right, 5, including burritos, taquitos, taco salads, and my favorite, grilled jalapenos. Yummy. And many, many more delicious items. Also, on Taco Tuesdays, tacos are 50% off. That's right, 50% off. Where can you find that deal, right? Call and place your order today at 360-698-4335 or head over to the website at taquizatacoshop.com and get some more great tasting, authentic Mexican food at Taquiza, located at the Kitsap Mall. Their number again is 360-698-4335. When I say barbecue, does your mouth just start to water? Barbecue. Well, I got the place for you to go check out, right? Double D's, Barbecue and Smokery. They got the best tasting ribs, dry rub ribs, and the meat just literally fell off the bone the last plate I had. Delicious. Also, they have pulled brisket, pulled pork, sides like bacon, macaroni, and cheese, coleslaw, beans, and cream corn with green chilies. Little kick. Delicious. And the dessert, banana pudding. That's right, banana pudding. Where can you find that at, right? See, Brent and Don, the owners of Double D's, are both strong military veterans. They have found a home here in the Pacific Northwest, and their roots range from Texas to North Carolina and everywhere in between. They bring their amazing flavors to their ribs and their food truck, which is a catering business as well. You can reach them at 360-960-9093. They're on Facebook, Instagram. That's right, Double D's, Barbecue and Smokery. Delicious tasting ribs and barbecue. You got it. Check them out. I got one word for you. Donuts. Delicious, tasting, mouth-watering donuts. Can be found at Lone Star Donuts, a locally owned and operated business here in Kitsap County. They have 2 locations. Both of them have over 50 flavors, including apple fritters, bear claws, maple bars with real bacon, Field donuts with apple, lemon, lime, and other amazing flavors. They also have a donut called the Butterfinger donut, the banana split donut. I love coffee. Of course, they have the coffee donut and donut bites. Go down and see my friends at Lone Star Donuts in Silverdale, or you can call and place your order today at 360-204-5021, or head down to 10786 Maury Place in Silverdale. Also, over in the Port Orchard area, they have another location at 2649 Mile Hill Drive. You can call there at 360-443-2600 to get your amazing donuts. We know you can't buy happiness, but you know what? Buying donuts is kind of the same thing. Go down and see my friends at Lone Star Donuts in Silverdale or in Port Orchard. That's Lone Star Donuts. This is Elizabeth Mary, Beautiful Mess.
Sleepless nights, long hard days seem to blend together. I can get so lost in it all, forget the bigger picture. Lose myself in worry and I pray to know what's best. I search for all the answers, most days I'm a beautiful mess. When I feel like I'm losing it and I've had all I can take, she's always there to guide, always a phone call away. When I hold my baby tight, I think of her and smile. She's always there no matter what, she goes the extra mile. I try so hard every day to be the best that I can be. And as I lay my head to sleep, I pray to be at the mom she was to me. There in front of me, so small and full of life, my sweet new baby boy steals my heart every time. Soak it up and take it in, this time won't last long. There will soon come a time when he is old and grown. When I feel like I'm losing it and I've had all I can take, she's always there to cry, always a phone call away. When I hold my baby tight, I think of her and smile. She's always there no matter what, she goes the extra mile. I try so hard every day to be the best that I can be. And as I lay my head to sleep, I pray to be at the mom she was to me. When I feel like I'm losing it and I've had all I can take, she's always there to guide, always a phone call away. When I hold my baby tight, I think of her and smile. She's always there no matter what, she goes the extra mile. I try so hard every day to be the best that I can be. And as I lay my head to sleep, I pray to be at the mom she was to me. And not the mom she was to me. Half the mom she was to me.
Want to leave you a quote from my grandson, Cam, when he's about 3 years old. Thank you so much for joining the Chit Chat, encouraging one another podcast today as we interviewed Matt Tejeda, and it was really fun talking with him and getting his story, as well as we shared one of his songs as well. Also, thanks to Austin Hopkins and Elizabeth Mary for allowing me to share their music as well. Just want to let you know, too, that Lone Star Donuts will be opening another location in the Poulsbo Washington area. We'll keep you posted on when they're opening and their address, so you can get some Lone Star Donuts in 3 locations in Port Orchard, Silverdale, and soon in Poulsbo. Thanks again for listening to the Chit Chat, encouraging one another podcast today, and I hope you can subscribe and follow this podcast as we continue to encourage others, one another, all over the world, and share amazing music by some very gifted musicians. This is Chit Chat, the encouraging one another podcast. What's always about encouraging one another. You can check out the website at chitandchatpodcast.com. That's CHITNCHAT podcast.com. Until next time, take care. We just celebrated the 4th of July, and this as episode airs here on July 5th. Just wanted to recognize, wishing you a happy 4th of July.
This is Chit Chat, the encouraging one another podcast. It's always about encouraging others.